how the European Union is drawing up plans to share the large number of refugees arriving on the continent more evenly among member states, wants to scrap the rule that means that they must claim asylum in the first country they arrive in and introduce a new dispersal scheme instead.
An announcement is expected in March, but it's likely to face stiff resistance from some countries. Joining us now in the studio is Harjap Bhangal, an immigration lawyer. Harjap, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. First of all, this first country of entry principle, the Dublin Convention that we've been hearing about.
That's right.
How tricky is it going to be legally to change that?
It's going to be very tricky. A lot of countries won't be happy about it, especially Britain, France, the countries which are not bordering the states from where people are claiming asylum from. But Germany and countries like Italy, which have large number of, the first port of call for large number of immigrants, they will definitely be happy about this. And therefore it's going to require a lot of negotiation, but there will be challenges and it just won't happen overnight.
So perhaps more political difficulties than legal difficulties because of the different countries' varying agendas, shall we say?
That's right. To distribute it a bit more evenly, Britain will say, well, hold on, we're not as big as Germany, we're not as big as Italy, and smaller countries will say, well, we're not as big and we don't have a large GDP and we don't have enough housing. Therefore, there will be stiff opposition. And you can't literally even it out number-wise. You can't say 50,000 there and 50,000 there.
Yes, how do you decide on a quota? Is that based on GDP? Is it based on population already in a country? As you say, different countries are smaller or larger, so it's going to be pretty difficult to work out what is a fair quota system, isn't it?
Yeah, it's based on legal system, it's based on facilities, it's based on accommodation, housing, GDP. Countries like Greece, it's already been decided since 2011, their asylum system can't handle asylum seekers, so therefore we can't send people back to Greece, even if people have claimed asylum there. So it's all worked out within the European Union itself and negotiations.
What does that mean here in Britain, which has already stated its opposition? The Justine Greening has said that, but in any case, Britain has opt-out. So how might it be affected by any changes to the Dublin Agreement?
Britain can opt out, but then it gets a lot of benefits. If it opts out of European migration policy as a whole, then it will also lose the benefits that it has. But what essentially Britain will mean for Britain is a lot more asylum seekers here will be able to have their claims processed. So extra accommodation is needed, extra housing, extra education, extra NHS, and extra expense for the courts and for the immigration staff to deal with the claims. And it won't be able to send people back. So if someone comes straight to Germany or Italy and they claim asylum there and then they claim asylum in Britain, Britain can say, actually, we don't want to deal with your claim because Germany or Italy already have that right and already have made a decision to deal with your claim. Whereas now...
But any changes would cancel that out, basically?
Any changes would mean that Britain would have to consider their claim, regardless of where the person claimed asylum first or what country they entered first. So that would be a big, big change. So literally an asylum seeker could come from Syria and could go through all the countries and then say, right, I want to claim asylum in Britain. And Britain would have to deal with that claim. It couldn't rely on the clause now, well, hold on, you passed through Germany first, so Germany should deal with your claim. Or you came via Italy, Italy should deal with your claim. Or the Slovak Republic or Austria or whatever country. So Britain would have to deal with that claim and that would put extra pressure on the resources.
What this illustrates, of course, abundantly is that the reality of the situation has far outstripped, and it did this months and months ago, the rules and the regulations as defined by the Dublin Agreement. Ultimately, do you see this going to the European Court of Justice? Is it something that's going to be settled legally, or does it have to be settled politically?
It's going to require both. It's going to require cool heads and a decision based on size and resources, and there will be legal challenges. You're always going to get someone who's not going to be happy with it, especially someone who's all of a sudden might have to deal with a large influx of immigrants into their country, whereas they've been taking, say, hundreds on before. Now we've got thousands coming in. So people will not be happy, governments will not be happy, but they can challenge. I think once the Commission's decided, we're pretty much going to have to, everyone's going to have to sit around the table and decide what to do. It's best if it doesn't go to a legal challenge, because that could take years.
Okay, Harjap, thank you very much. Harjap Bhangal, immigration lawyer.